So for young lawyers who, I think one of the hardest thing, I mean, that I found as well personally, is as a young lawyer working maybe in a law firm or thinking about starting your own law firm, and you're someone who started your own law firm. How do you decide what to do? Do you start your own law firm, or do you try and make partner in a law firm?
The landscape today is wholly different to the time that we started in 1985. Today, there are much more law firms. Legal practice is wider. It's a lot more competitive. At the time that we started our partnership in 1989, it was one of the very few partnerships in Nigeria. The normal run of things is that you had a sole proprietorship. A certain person had his own law practice, and it is that sort of thing, and you employed your lawyer. So the concept of a partnership at that time was new to us in Nigeria. We were not the first ones, I would say. I'm not saying by any means that we're the first ones, but they were very, very few. You could count them on your fingertips. Today, given the complexity of practice, given the competition, I do not believe strongly that there is much room for a sole proprietorship. You've got to team up with colleagues, share experiences, share competence. There's got to be synergy to move forward. But even before that, I think there should be some form of grounding. In the military, they have a saying that in order to command, you must first learn how to serve. So I think for any young lawyer, I would say have a stint as an employee first and see how that goes. One, you're learning from people who are senior to you. Aside from learning the rudiments of the law, you are also learning how you would yourself be an employer and run a law practice. So it's a slow burn. I don't think it's something you can just come by overnight and just say you're ready to go. I think it's a slow burn.
It takes time. Thank you for that. I think that's really interesting that, at the time you started the partnership, there were very few partnerships in Nigeria. I mean, that's really interesting. I had no idea.
Oh, there were very few. I'm sorry to cut in. And if I may also add, aside from the fact there was very few, there was also this feeling that partnerships don't work in Nigeria because the few that have come before us didn't work. The partnership broke up within a very short time of their formation. So there was this thinking that partnerships don't work. I remember a lot of people were saying to me that when we were about to start, why do you want to do a partnership? They don't work in Nigeria. And I, speaking with my colleagues, Mr. Shofunde, Chief Osakwe, Mr. Gudipe, they also had people telling them this same thing at the time.